Okay, we're going to look at how you could have traded the pre-market area here and actually caught this uptrend reversal despite the market being in an intermediate downtrend. So intermediate in this case actually means like multi-day. And when we're talking about multi-day trends, the market has a tendency to have these really big pullbacks into areas of congestion or value, or where longer term participants might perceive that the market's at a better price. So if we just draw the fixed range volume profile indicator, we can see that there's some high volume nodes up here. There's one over here, etc., etc., etc. What's the purpose of this for our intraday trading? Well, the market shot down from here. This looks like a downtrend breakout, and then actually it spent a lot of time down there. So we go down to a shorter term time frame. This is the 3 o'clock market, 3 a.m. market, Central Time. And the market's trending down. Very clearly downtrend, big downtrend breakout. We would expect some level of continuation throughout there. And that just actually didn't happen. The market goes down here, it sits here for a while. That implies that it's going to revisit that at some time on a longer term time frame. But on the shorter term time frame, we got a big uptrend. So how could we have spotted that reversal? The same way, if you go watch how to enter a reversal, the best way to enter that, or whatever I called that video, this is an uptrend, or no, sorry, swing high. If I just draw this box here, this is a swing high, this is a lower swing high, but then this push above this is a break of structure. So at the very least, on a shorter slash, well, in this case, intermediate, because we have a couple hours here, on an intermediate time frame, we actually have a break of structure there. And we look and see there's a break of structure here. So the market's coming down from this swing high. This could be major resistance on a longer term time frame. It's a pivot high. But we see that this from here to here is an uptrend, and so it's not an uptrend on a longer term time frame, but it shifts the overall market context from down to sideways. And then we have shorter term uptrends here. So on the first break of structure, just like the how to catch a reversal video that I'm going to publish today, we can see where the failed initiative pushes. There's one right there, break of structure, buy right there, easy peasy. Where should you take this off? Well, realistically, this is a swing high and a pivot high, and there's some higher volume nodes here. So you would think that you should clear that position here had you bought here. That's wise, prudent, especially in a longer term downtrend. It's very likely the market will reverse from here. But when we see this second entry short, and we see this initiative push here, and then a break of structure, despite the fact that we're on a multi-day downtrend, in our time frame, we consider intermediate really 15 minutes, an hour. This is an uptrend on 3 different levels, and then we have a break of this high. So we have a break of this high, and we can then go look to see where are the areas invalidated. Where do we have major pushes? This from here is a swing high to a break here is a swing high, and then we have a major flush down, followed by a flush up, followed by a flush down. This is your pivot, and we have a swing high here. So right here, there's 2, 3, if you count this as multiple, 2 reasons to buy this, and then we have a break of structure there. Push above that, broke that high, push above this, broke that high. This is no longer the ceiling necessarily. And so buying here is a viable entry. And then, if the trend was going to continue, this would have been our failure level. We've talked about how to catch trends and where the failure levels would be. But buying right there, if it fails, this would then be back in the intermediate downtrend. So once we have that, it's just typical uptrend following stuff. We have a push here, a push here. If we consider now that we are moving up above this is a type 2 uptrend, we're looking for failures of the shortest term downtrend. So we have a push here. Market attempts, well, it goes above that. Actually, buying there and scalping to the top would have been just fine. Initiative push down, buy there, take it to the top. This is where it gets really tricky. This is still major support, so until we invalidate this, it's still in a type 2 uptrend. It invalidated this, cleared above that, and then went. So we're looking to go on the other side of invalid initiative sell pushes. If that's a lot of words, keep watching, it'll eventually all click. Initiative sell push here, against major support in an uptrend. Kinda dicey because of this top, but buying right there is valid. And then you see the market continues up. We have another shorter term downtrend, just a pullback here. And we look back, we can use the one backs. What I mean by one back, if I clear all of this and you look down here and see the higher volume candles on the pushes up, here's one here, okay. One back right here, draw a box here. The bottom of that is there, this candle. So as long as we're above this, this is still an uptrend in the longer term time frame. However, we don't just want to be buying this unless we have a secondary area, an area of failure on the shorter term time frame trend. The reason for that is because on the shortest term trading time frame, this is actually down here. But when we get a break of this, push above that, buy there, sell the top, that's an area to enter. If we get a little bit of a probe below that, maybe a problem, except it's still above this initiative push. And then if we look and scroll this to the right, maybe it hits that again. I haven't actually checked. No, it's just clear above it. And so we see this multiple times here, where if we're trying to buy these failed initiative pushes, this whole area down here is still support. You can buy that. Buy the failures. Still support. Buy the failures. This here is actually a failure on, it kind of goes back and forth here. This is where we, in type 2 uptrends, trying to buy straight breakouts is problematic because we see this is an initiative push. We see an attempt here, and yeah, you can just take it to the top, but then this is a failure of that, and then it's just sideways through here. The market opens and continues higher. So really, we're just looking to buy at this. In this case, there's trap delta down here. You can buy this. This is congestion. You can buy this, and then take off at the top because we are in a longer term time frame downtrend. Longer term time frame downtrend, and we have failed initiative pushes that are not really being responded to. So if multiple times the market goes to a specific location and behaves a certain way, you can infer that it's going to keep, that tells you something about the actual trend. So we have this right here, another initiative push, it comes above that. That should hold. If this is going to be an immediate type 1 uptrend where it's just breaking out higher, this is a pivot. It doesn't really respect that pivot. It goes down below it, comes back up, it tries to hold right there, and then it goes back down. So we can assume that in this case, at the very least, we are in a type 2 uptrend, but then when it starts rolling over major support down here, this is now a downtrend. So we would shift to downtrend following strategies. Yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'm trying to keep them a little shorter so you guys' attention span holds. That's how you could have traded the pre-market. Catch the major reversal here. Be aware that when these areas have low to no trading activity, it can rush straight through them. And then where did the market actually go to? Up in here. Congestion area, failed second entry long. And we also have in this failed second entry short down here. So despite the fact that it's rolling over, this is potentially major support or intermediate support. So the odds that we shoot back up off of every pullback are pretty high, but until we get a failure of this downtrend, we would actually be looking to sell this on the shortest term time frame. So that would have been a sell location right there where it just tagged. Why? If we're looking at the chart, this is an initiative push right here, big spike down. There's a second attempt to hold that there, and it respected that. That's actually, I don't know if I pointed out earlier in the video, a major support level, congestion, initiative push down, buy there. You'll notice a pattern about the same sort of areas that we target. Buy here, sell the top, buy here, sell the top, buy here. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, now the trend has shifted, sell here and scalp to the bottom. In the state that we're in, where we're in a very mixed market at this point, actually. Longer term downtrend, shorter term uptrend, shortest term downtrend. When you have conflicting signals, be prudent. Be careful with your entries. Take off at the first form of resistance or support where it's likely that the price will slow down. And above all else, make sure that you're trading in the direction of the shortest term time frame trend or your time frame. You don't want to be trading against your time frame for something that might happen later. This is a break of structure here. What does that tell us? It just tells us that the market is going sideways and jumping all around. So we would target potentially down here, target potentially an inversion of that. Either way, we're looking for higher and lower prices at this point because the market is jumping all around. The breakouts are not breaking. They're not continuing, except for way down here. And this one was clean. And this is an area of support still. But once it starts rolling over here, if it starts rolling over there, then we'll be in a longer term downtrend. When you have the market doing this, you have to be careful. This should hold. This is a reversal. If it doesn't, that's a pretty big failure and it's likely to continue down. So if you were trading this for an uptrend direction, you would be trying to buy here initiative push down as it comes down to there. The market did not respond there yet, but it hasn't broken through it. If it breaks through this, then we could potentially sell this green box, because now we've failed 2 trend reversals and it's moving down. But it's responding there, so it's a little bit dicey. In fact, in this kind of environment, you might not even want to trade. If the market's not really responding to the setups, just wait for a time when it is, or move to a longer term time frame setup and then wait for a clear failure on a short term entry that you trade against. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the typical YouTube stuff. I'm going to keep making these videos out. I will link to the how to take a reversal video in the description of this, and thanks for watching.